Yeah. I thought it was really good. Like, for that first 15 or 20 minutes of the second half, we were really dominant. We controlled the ball really well, which has been a little bit of a fly in the ointment for us, to be quite honest. And the Broncos probably didn't control the ball that well in that period of time. And we got some real momentum there. And after being 10 points down, to being 8 in front, I thought that was a terrific effort from our guys. We sort of stalled a touch there after that when they got a bit of field position, but I was really proud of them and happy with the way they come back after they scored that try in the corner up there. So like the overall performance, I have to be really happy with. Yeah, we did. We probably made a huge difference in that second half, and as you say, it was probably a little bit quiet that first half. But that, as I said, we were defending a lot in that first 20-25 minutes. So that probably took a little bit of an edge off him too. With playing on Wednesday. So, but as you said, he was tremendous for us in the second half. Yeah, well, again, we hung on to the ball, and and the Broncos didn't probably complete that well during that period. So that just gives you energy up. But I think I think the players were quite excited before the game. To be quite honest, it's the play. It's been a big week with Origin being down here, and we actually had a lot of the parents come down for the Parents' Weekend this year. Probably, I think we've had more parents here this year than we've had in the past ever. So, to have them watching their sons and their brothers and sisters live doesn't happen too often. So I think that was a little bit of an energy giver, for the players as well. So, So I know all the parents are really proud of our players, what they've done down here, and what some of the new guys are doing. So I think that was a little bit of a spur on for them too.
Yeah, it's always handy to have a speedster like him out there. And we sort of spoke about that during the week. I know Josh wasn't here until captain's one really, but we identified that if there was a chance to kick early, that we needed to take those opportunities. And Josh, he's an instinctive player, and he can read those opportunities where we may have something organised, but I choose to kick, and he literally just gets on his bike and gets down there, So it helps having, the speed that he has out wide, where if you kick long and into space and you're turning their big blokes around and you're isolating their fullback deep in the corner, that's a pretty sort of special play. The play that he come up with in that second half where they put Darius into touch, that was a big moment in the game. But again, that's just those guys out on the edges doing their job. It's probably something that we haven't been so great at as I think as a spine or as halves is our kicking game this year. But it's certainly something that we've put a lot of effort to over the last 2 weeks at training.
Yeah, it's outstanding. He's giving a real rap to Josh on that play, but that. I thought his kicking all day was outstanding, and he sort of had a little bit of a plan today on how basically, I suppose, Broncos defended kicks, and he come up with some real special kicks, real special plays today. And as I said in the dressing room, I don't know what he's thinking, but I'm sure he's made the right decision retiring from Origin. So because again, he's been a great help during the week, with the other guy, Origin players away, and again, he always steps up every week, but he's even been a little bit more vocal this week and a little bit more reassuring for the new players coming in, and to go out and perform like he did, it's a real credit to him. And like I say, if he hadn't played today, I think we would have been in a little bit of trouble, but he was outstanding.
Yeah, it has, and that was part of the reason, really. I think I've explained that quite clearly already, that, it all just got a little bit too much. But, over the last couple of weeks, I felt great coming to the training. Like, we've still had training and preparing for this match, but, just the weight was off the shoulders, over the last 2 weeks. I didn't have to go into Origin camp. I was just here preparing with the team. And I've had probably a bit of an extra bounce in the step, at training and around the place. And, it's a really important period for our club, both with our standing on the ladder and also going through the Origin period with, some of it, well, all the players involved are crucial players to our side. So, there's a lot of uncertainty around Origin time, whether you're going to get those players back and whether they will be available. So you've got some young men, a lot of inexperience in your side preparing for these matches. So I just wanted to try and lend my experience to those young guys and make sure that they're preparing well at training and giving themselves every opportunity to come out and play well on the weekend. Oh, none. I've got none, Mel. No, I was. There was a slight moment on Wednesday night. I went to the game and watched, and there's a slight moment when the boys ran out and you hear the roar of the crowd. That's probably a moment that I missed. But as soon as the game was underway, I was just excited. I was just another fan in the stand. I was up and down out of my seat all night, and it was actually a really, really nice experience to be there with my family. My wife was there with my 3 children. To sit there with an Origin for them for the first time was pretty cool. So absolutely no regrets. I've made the right decision. There's no doubt about that, and looking forward to the next few weeks over, until this Origin period's over, and hopefully play well for the Storm. I think you can make a difference because there was certain periods of the game where we struggled in the middle defensively. That's where Damien Cook made his break early in the game, where Tedesco scored the first try, and then Tedesco made, I think, maybe 3 or 4 line breaks in the middle and caused us a lot of issues on the night, to be honest. I know that I was out on the MCG surface the day before and it looked pretty greasy, looked pretty slippery. So it's always hard for those bigger men to defend the smaller guys in the middle. But I think Tim's proven that he's a great defender. He's a very reliable defender, and he's pretty handy with the football as well. He gives away a little bit of size to some of the other ruck players you see in the competition, but he's as effective as any player playing in his position at the moment. So I'm not too sure what Kevin's thinking. There's some small areas where Queensland were off in that game, and that was certainly one of them. Whether the change is needed in there, I'm not too sure. But if you put Tim Glasby in, he'll do a great job. He did that last year for Queensland as well.
Yeah, it's obviously. I don't think it was a difficult decision for Young. That's something he's always wanted to do, and I think he's got to do it before he turns 25, or there's some reason around there. That's the reason why it's halfway through the season, which for us I suppose a little bit disappointing. But he's, as I said, it seemed to be an easy decision for him. It's something that he really wants to do. So. He's always done a great job for us. He's been a great clubman here, and I'm not quite sure how long he's been playing with us now, but he's been playing for a fair while. So we just wish him all the best. And as you say, unfortunately, he won't be playing at home again, at least for a couple of years. And but I'm sure he's going to put his best foot forward, for the next couple of games he plays with us, and hopefully he enjoys the last 2 or 3 weeks that he's going to be with us. But we're certainly going to miss him. He's a great guy to have around the club, but again, we're not going to begrudge him what he's doing, because he's just got such a great belief, and that's what he wants to do, and that's what's important to him. So as I said, we wish him all the best. Yeah, he's got a hamstring, so it's. I don't think it's a real good one. So it's not just a small strain. I think it's going to keep him out for a bit. by the look of it. So, that was unfortunate, especially get through the opening period and then to come back on, and he was only out there for 4 or 5 minutes. So, unfortunately, well, it doesn't look like it's good news, but we'll find out tomorrow. And obviously, Jess is really disappointed. It's been a bit of a disjointed year for him, but I know he'll work hard to get back as soon as he can. And we need him to do that because he's a really important member of our team, really important part of our club. I didn't think that, to be quite honest. I didn't look at it again either, I must say. I just thought he went in pretty hard, but whether it was late or not, I'm not quite sure. But, I'll have a look and I can give you an opinion then. But, I just thought it just went in and, he obviously was a strong tackle, but whether it was late or not, I didn't really notice it. Yeah, it's a good question. No, I'm not quite sure, so... Again, Billy sort of felt it there just before, we played in Townsville, and, the diagnosis was then you could probably play, that against the Cowboys, but it's safer not because, if it's not safe, he could be out for a long period of time. So, and then it's gone into Origin. So there's obviously a little bit more there than what they thought earlier. And I don't think it's anything serious, or, overly serious, but, I think the hard part for Billy, he's never had a hamstring injury before. So he's not quite sure, how bad it is, or, the feelings, I suppose, of having this injury. So, but you'd like to think he's going to be playing next week. But having said that, we're going to treat it the same as we've treated, and the same as the Origin. Queensland have treated it. We're not going to take any chances. Yeah, he came in yesterday. I didn't know who it was actually, but and I said, "Why have you got your hair blonde?" And he didn't answer it actually. But I did. Well, another thing I noticed, he had odd socks on. He had a black sock on one foot and a white sock on the other foot, and I think he was trying to take attention away from his head, that didn't work. So, so again, I'm not quite sure. You might ask if you've seen what the reason is or why he wanted to do that, but. If he wanted to stand out, he don't take much standing out with his size, so I'm not quite sure why he's got blonde hair for. Say again?
He's okay.
Yeah, I think, he got a bit of a whack to the head. But he's fine. It's just, I think they checked him as far as HIA. I think he was a free interchange because it went on report. So, he passed that, no worries. I'm not quite sure about the blonde bit. Yeah, he just had a cork thigh, so that was a little bit uncomfortable for him, but he got through to the end. So, and again, him and Felice, Munster's had one little, I suppose, go at Origin last year, but it was a whole different feeling to come off that third game as a winner, so it wasn't so hard for him to back up, but. It was a little bit hard for the Queensland guys. It's a big build-up, and then they had that disappointment of losing. But I thought both those guys done really well. Felice started the game really well for us. Munster done a terrific job, and I thought Josh was outstanding on Wednesday night, and he was just as good tonight. So I'm really, really proud of the way that they've come through, because they're not, those three guys have, two of them have played, was their first game, and the other one was his second game. So to back up as well as they did today was, really proud of them, and I know their teammates really appreciate it.
I guess it was. It gives, put us on the scoreboard and able to put some pressure back on the Broncos. But I thought we were sort of building quite nicely in that period of the game, and we made some good opportunities for ourselves, particularly in the midfield. But yeah, that was a good effort for him to get over. He had a lot of traffic around him. I think he beat about 3 defenders to get the ball over the line. So that's it's a type of sort of player Young is. You know, he's a pretty powerful type of a guy, and it's just for us, it's about getting guys in the right spots and giving them some opportunity down that end. That's something, another part of our game that we've been working on, that we haven't been so great at, is just giving, you know, the guys that can do those things the ball at those times of the game. You know, but I wouldn't say the Broncos were sort of had the game in control at that stage. You know, I thought we were still well and truly in the game, but yeah, that certainly helped us get a little bit of momentum back, and yeah, we're able to go on with it.
Craig, did the game give you any food for thought,
You persistent, Mel? No, not really. Again, it's, you know, that doesn't, game today doesn't, you know, I didn't go in the game thinking, well, whoever wins today, that's where I'm going. If that's what you say. So,
Well, we won.
We won. So, yeah, no, that didn't sort of come into it at all. So, again, no, just the opposition today, and that's how I've got to treat it. Thanks.